Hey guys, what is going on? So I just wanted to address some questions that I get asked, multiple times a day. I understand that I make different videos and I get questions on those. I get questions on Instagram. So I just kind of want to put them all in one spot. So hopefully I can answer the ones that you have, at least to the best of my ability. So number one, I have to get out of the way. Anybody asking about any brand of Turkesterone or Ecdysterone that I have not personally bought, I cannot tell you how to take it, if it is effective, anything like that. I have taken Derek's Turkesterone and I have taken Muscle Empire Ecdysterone. Those are the two things. Anything else I have no knowledge on. I cannot speak on those. And, the quality or the legitimacy of those is, in question as far as I'm concerned. Obviously, Derek's Turkesterone I had great results on. And, I trust that guy a lot, so therefore I can recommend that. Now, it is a bit pricey. So Muscle Empire Ecdysterone is what I got into after a lot of you guys were telling me that it was effective for you. Ever since I said that I got on it, and, I was saying that was the brand that I was getting, a lot of you guys came and told me, more stories that it worked. And then a lot of you guys went ahead and bought it and thus have continued the flood of stories of it working. So at this point, the Muscle Empire has gained, way more positive reviews that at least have been told to me than Derek's Turk, which was a substantial amount. So those are the two I can speak on. As far as dosages and stuff like that, people ask me what dosage I take. I currently am taking 4 caps of Turk, 4 caps of Muscle Empire Ecdy. I plan to, at some point, take 6 caps of the Ecdy when I run out of my Turk. I'm just trying to extend it a little bit because Turkesterone has been out of stock for a while, and I don't know when it's going to be back in stock. So that is the dosage that I'm taking. On the bottle, I think it says 1 to 2 a day. I don't know if that's super effective. I know some people who have taken 2 and 3 per day, and a lot of people have taken like 4 a day. That seems to be the most consistent dosage that I've found. But I've heard people get results on 2 a day. So, that's going to depend on you. As far as, for me, the reason I started to take 6 Turkesterone caps when I initially, went from 4 to 6 is because I didn't get any results on 4. I didn't get results until I took 6 caps, and I also spaced them throughout the day. So I don't know if 6 caps of Turk is equivalent to 6 caps of the Ecdy. I'm just going to have to figure it out. And that's what I would recommend that you do, is figure it out for yourself. I am not prescribing dosages. I don't know what works for your body. I barely even know what works for my body. I'm still learning, so I'm not the expert on all of this. And that's kind of a theme throughout all of this, is that I don't really know everything. But if you want to learn more, obviously you can go and research it yourself. But I'm just saying what I've experienced and, the brands that I've used and how effective they've been. One thing to point out is that when I was on Turk and I was getting great results, I was bulking, and I'm currently cutting, if you didn't know that. I am regaining strength, and I think I'm ready to hit some PRs, but I will keep you guys updated on that. Now, in terms of your dosage and what you should take, I cannot tell you. I don't know. I am not a doctor. I don't know everything associated with this. I'm just kind of saying what works for me. So the most common dosage people seem to be taking is 4 caps a day of the Muscle Empire Ecdy. You can go plus or minus. You can do whatever you want. That is up to you. In terms of timing of my dosages, I have found with Turkesterone that taking it throughout the day is the most effective. This is something that was suggested by Derek, and he said that we don't know the half-life of it, and therefore it makes the most sense to space your dosages throughout the day. So that's something that I've been doing, and that is when I have seen results. So that's what I would recommend, if anything. When do I take mine? That's a question I get asked a lot. One in the morning, as soon as I wake up, 1 at night, 1 after my workout, oftentimes, 1 kind of before, and then maybe 2 other ones if I'm taking 6 throughout the day. Otherwise, those are typically the times that I do it. I don't know if those are effective times to take it. I have, heard that it is effective to take it with protein, or specifically with leucine, which is obviously present in a lot of protein sources. Most people are getting that naturally. You're probably eating a lot of protein throughout the day, so you probably don't need to worry about it all that much. But if you are concerned, if you only are taking like 2 caps a day, maybe you want to take it with protein, but that is up to you. So dosages, time of day, what I'm taking, those are probably the ones that I get asked the most, different brands, stuff like that. People ask me, I'm 16, 17, 18, should I be taking this? It's hard to say. I mean, I don't know of any side effects. I don't know of why you wouldn't, other than money, which, teenagers usually don't have that much money. I know I didn't have very much. I probably wouldn't have bought this stuff. You're probably already seeing results in the gym. That is probably the best time for you to gain without taking anything. So, on that end, you probably don't need it. But at the same time, I think that your hormones are probably, in the best place for you to build the most amount of muscle possible. I know when I was like 15, that's when I saw the vast majority of my gains. And those weren't even necessarily newbie gains, because I started lifting when I was 12. So, I think the times when your hormones are going crazy, maybe it's worth it for you, but I'm not going to recommend that. I don't know 100% for sure. In terms of, dosages across the board, some people don't know how the capsules equate to getting it from food like quinoa and spinach, and I don't know either. I know a lot of people have come to me and said that they started eating a lot of quinoa and spinach and they got gains. How much of that is placebo? How much of that is, real? It's hard to say whether it's a capsule or, via food, if that's going to work. I know a lot of people reference Team 3 Alpha. I'm very familiar with his channel. He references these studies talking about you only need X amount of ecdysterone to see results. And what I would say with that is, one, he is very, willing to get everything from food sources. He always talks about not buying supplements and instead getting it from food. That's just his stance. I think the route that he's taking is reinforcing that stance. I personally think that using a higher dosage would probably be more effective. It may be a bit more expensive depending on, how much quinoa is. I don't really know. But, at the end of the day, the Muscle Empire Ecdy, if you're getting an equivalent amount to what it's actually saying on the bottle, I mean, it could potentially be more cost effective. You don't have to make quinoa all the time. A lot of people, are like, why don't you just do quinoa? Well, dude, I mean, if I'm going to take it 4 to 6 times a day, I'm not going to be cooking up quinoa 4 to 6 times a day. I'm on a cut. I don't need those calories. I'm not trying to do all that work. I'd much rather just take a capsule. So that's my stance on it. If you want to take quinoa, if you want to eat spinach, that's up to you. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I don't know why people think that what I'm doing is, me saying that's the only way to do it. The main theme of all of these things is you're going to have to figure things out for yourself. You're going to have to use your brain and use your logic and experiment to some degree. At the end of the day, we don't know everything about this. A lot of it is, anecdotal evidence, and, kind of segueing from that quinoa and Megan Team 3 Alpha. Every study with every supplement is going to show you that, this supplement taken in this minuscule dose is going to be super duper effective. That's just the way that studies are. I don't really trust them. It's probably the number one thing that I learned when I was in college was how much BS is in studies and how much, you really shouldn't trust them, and just take it with a grain of salt and understand that studies can show evidence to support a claim, but a study in and of itself is not the end-all be-all. At the end of the day, you need to determine things for yourself. And even after all of that, something that Derek says and other people say, let's say you take turkesterone versus ecdysterone, some people are just going to respond differently. Some people are going to be hyper responders to one or the other or both, and some people aren't. And you just can't neglect that. So you're going to have to experiment for yourself, figure things out for yourself, and just try things. But in terms of, what I would recommend at the end of the day, I would say take as many capsules as you can afford. Obviously, don't take a ton, don't just take double-digit capsules a day, but I think 4 to 6, that's probably the upper end of what most people are going to use. I don't see that as being unsafe. I am not the expert on that, though. Do your own research, figure out any potential side effects, none that I know of, but you're going to have to, figure things out for yourself. At the end of the day, I would space them throughout the day. And Muscle Empire brand seems to be the one that I've gotten the most positive feedback on. It is very cost effective relative to Turk, and Turk is always sold out anyway. So, personally, I got better results on Turk than I've been getting as I've introduced Ecdy, but I'm also, taking Turk at the same time. So I think that has more to do with me bulking versus cutting than any difference in effectiveness. So I will continue to probably, I have a lot of this Ecdysterone left. I will probably use it on a bulk in the future. I'll probably buy Derek's Turk in the future. So I will continue to experiment with these things over time. I hope you guys continue to give me your feedback so I can kind of do a little bit of a, I don't even know what it would be called, but I would just kind of show like what people's results have been taking this. I would much rather get your like long-term reviews and your calculated kind of experiments more so than I feel stronger. A lot of that is placebo, but at the end of the day, I think this stuff works. So I have links in the description for Muscle Empire. That being said, I think only the powder is available currently. If you are not signed up for the email on HR supplements, that's going to be the cheapest way to get it, especially if you buy in bulk. So I'll sign up for that. I have the link in the description. Again, those are out of stock to my knowledge right now, but hopefully they come back in stock soon. So I would sign up for that. If you can't wait, the powder is available. I've heard many, many times that it is nasty, but if you want to bite the bullet and get that, by all means. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that. I will keep you updated, and I'll talk to you soon.